Charlie, in the last few hours, there have been some huge updates in terms of Chelsea, Barcelona updates with the Atletico de Madrid game, of course. After some match, remember all the pre-match analysis, I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. But in terms of Chelsea, I had much that game on Leeds United, and there are some very, very interesting convos that we need to have because first off, Chelsea look like they're going to make a big, bold January decision. I'll tell you about that. It is very telling, very interesting, and we need to speak about it. It looks as if Chelsea for was some specific plan beyond some Real. And after the games that Chelsea played against Arsenal and Barcelona, there has been much more scrutiny in terms of the games that they are going on. And Chelsea for a clear-cut vision with respect to the board when it comes to Baghdad, the Gbali, Todd Bolly, and the way a season is going. I said they are beginning to believe that maybe they can go on and win something very interesting. Maybe they can win English Premier League. Maybe a Champions League, they can be an opportunity for them. So what if they're able to augment the squad in January and then go on and win? A breaking news from Kobe. I'll give you all the updates I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Maybe some coming in I say, once subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the channel, turn your notification turn on choose all. Just so anytime your content ever drop over first person now the details no you can look at all of those things. Chelsea for them are also content for being with their centre back options, especially Levi Cole from returning from injury next year and the prospect of Mamadou Sarr. But there is a plan for a January addition at that place and other positions are Chelsea for an Elche'S said very, very important when it comes to what Chelsea want to do now. There are a lot of other details. Enzo Fernandez said he received unwavering support from Chelsea squad during the fallout from the video of him in Argentine national teammates singing racist chant about France national team in 2024. The midfielder issued an apology on social media in July 2024, but speaking publicly about the video for the very first time, the Argentine international to give me support. The club has always shown faith in me, and I'm grateful for that. Of course, talking about Sani Mane Corso, Michelle. Again, don't subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. In the notification turn on, choose all. Just so anytime your content ever drop, you'll be the first person to have it. So you're an investor. Tonight's games are going to start from 8 p.m. Be sure by the time I will submit Osha video way, so part of the early bed, more subscribe my turn on notification. It's going to be somewhere around 6 p.m., 6:30, 7 p.m., 7:30. It means that you have a chance. Go to the description of the video. Koko Fakot, Fakosha will Betway app, and then give yourself a big chance of winning something. Do not renege. Go to the description of the video. Pick up the codes. Fakosha will Betway app and give yourself a big chance at winning something. Our on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And Fifi, why is it that we didn't see the codes? Oh, Fifi, we didn't see the codes. I don't do those things here. You go, you know that if you come to YouTube now, it's always there. Go and pick them up and give yourself a very big chance at winning something. I want to say in Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let me say my thank yous. First off, Yesimo. Yesimo is your best place for car. Spare parts dealership, wherever you are in the country, yes, more on him. He will take good care of you. Michelle, friend on 020-059-313-8221 or Abose Okai Post Office. Abose Okai Post Office. And I yes more. Please contact him right now. Let him make sure that we sort out nicely. It's very, very important that we're able to sort out when it comes to Yesimo and in the dealings. Maybe I will be always on your money. Of course, and will be clothing so at on target apparel clothes. Whether it is retail, wholesale, MOB Clothing will sort out everything for you, baby. I'll pay on your Mebiano. MOB Clothing will take care of everything for you. Send about BBR, so just reach out to MOB Clothing on our To-Do Aflow Station. To-Do Aflow Station on 0200-668-708. 0200-668-708. Chelsea, our big game at Leeds United. How many of you know that Leeds are the local rivals of Chelsea? A lot of people don't know. Say Leeds are local rivals of Chelsea. Barcelona and Espanyol. It's not. It's like a local. When Chelsea play Leeds, it's always a rivalry. John Terry Money at the other. I've discussed my brand here. And I've discussed the Leeds United game, and how important it's going to be for Chelsea. And of course, the next 2 games are about for Enzo Maresca and in the squad. Are 2 important games. Chelsea are playing against Tima, your friend in Leeds United away at Elland Road. And the next one they play is against Tima, your friend Bournemouth, also at the Vitality. So what it means is that 2 very huge, important games, and it's a Chelsea ball. And everybody knows, so boss are 2 games we. That's how we on your yeah. Maybe today we are all saying, say, oh, Charlie title race, no Chelsea into Kakra. Maybe they don't have to rush into the title race. Oh, let's see what January will bring. Let's see what February will bring. Let's see where Chelsea will be in March. But the truth of the matter is that if Chelsea able to do their thing, so by the time they get into March, they'll be in pole position to contest for it. Imagine this season, a season where everybody has said that Mikel Arteta and Arsenal are going to win the English Premier League. Imagine Chelsea passing by them, could they managing to go and win? I bet you're very interesting. Very interesting part. And I told you about that. One thing that's very clear is that Abrante's friend Reece James, he's not going to start against Leeds United. And in the pre-match press conference of Enzo Maresca, he was clear in everything that he wants to do against Leeds United. Now, Enzo Maresca, he was asked about, say, Daniel Farke. Daniel Farke is the coach of Leeds United. He had coached Norwich City. Journalist Babi Bisa on Enzo Maresca said, Daniel Farke able 4-3-3 against City in the first half, not down by 2-0. Second half, sound structure, and about 3-5-2. And Obedro gave me 2-2, and later City for the share winner. Now, on Enzo Maresca, how is he going to prepare against Daniel Farke team? Say, good question, but the truth is, I don't know. Enzo Maresca literally telling the journalist, and he went on to explain, said Daniel Farke, he will be a huge game in terms of baby our bunny born every we have a lot of different variations of how he wants to play his game. Sometimes about 4-3-3, sometimes about 4-2-3-1, about a lot of variations, and he has prepared his team according to that. And maybe just like how Oyusi Reece James, with respect in a drop-in movement into the back line, was clever tactic to base Arsenal's press. This was aimed at manipulating Rice positioning and this animal. That's what Chelsea look like. Maybe they have to do against him. Your friend, Abrantia, your friend, to do against him, your friend, Leeds United, of course, using Abrantia and Andre Santos, very important. When Chelsea have to maneuver a lot of players now. Chelsea for no scouts now are closing in on a midfielder from Elche. And also, you won't come on very soon. And another catch say Dortmund for one say they want to keep Chelsea centre back Abrantia Feno, Aaron Anselmino. Now, the kind of performances that Aaron Anselmino has put up, I said Dortmund for one say, Charlie, it's an excellent performance all through, and they are interested in signing Abrantia friend Aaron Anselmino for the long term. Now, in all of that, Chelsea for one have said that they don't think that they are going to let Abrantia friend Aaron Anselmino get signed from Dortmund. Now, Dortmund for one Kreniska. They bought Abrantia friend Aaron Anselmino a little over 20 million euros. They don't think Dortmund for will be willing to pay 20 million euros and more for Abrantia friend Aaron Anselmino. So they don't think Dortmund for will be able to sign Abrantia friend Aaron Anselmino. So it's very interesting in terms of how things are going to go on from there. It's very important. The Athletics say while head coach Enzo Maresca is involved in the conversation over targets, his role is primarily to coach the team. The recruitment team named above are in charge of the overall strategy at the club, and it's talking about Chelsea for one plan for January, the grand plan, the players that they've targeted. I told you about that there is a player, Elche'S, at Chelsea for not targets. In fact, in the areas that they need to target, they've gone in for star players. They are going to go in to go and get a job done over there when it comes to the games that's supposed to go on. According to Chelsea Forum, on the 17th of January, Chelsea are expecting to get Abrantia, your friend, Abrantia friend Mihailo Mudryk back into the team. He's deemed to be an important player very soon once things settle and things go the right way. Abrantia friend Mihailo Mudryk is going to come in and then play football for Chelsea Football Club. Something that's very important. Something that's very good in terms of how Chelsea want to play their game and the things that's going to go on from there. But before that, you need Komoni Baby Yenfanfa and then Enzo Maresca pre-match press conference. What did he say? How did he say? What is the plan for Leeds United? And I'll tell you about Chelsea for a grand plan for January. And also the fact that they have approached the player Elche. We'll talk about him very, very soon. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We'll be saying Maresca say, now on number 6, Moises Caicedo, anyhow, who plays as a number 6? And I'll say, oh, our branch friend Andre Santos is ready. Now Santos can go on and go and play in multiple positions. Santos beats me about as a 6, beats me about as an 8, beats me about even sometimes as a 10 when the needs require him. And it's the only problem. Now, our branch friend Dario Esugo has also returned from injury. The problem, however, is that immediately Dario came, he had a slight niggle. And Dario Esugo has to sit off Kakra and then be out of the game. Now, he also did mention, say, Joshua Champion can also play as a 6. I know that Maresca can say, I think one that can play good position is Joshua Champion in the number 6 role. According to Maresca, Joshua Champion beats him as a 6. Now, Andre is ready. His position, once again, he's playing as a 6, like Moyes' position, but he's ready. We have more options. We have more servers. We can have different positions, which is very important. Now, on beside Maresca say, Obetime replacing Moyes Caicedo and on Ocean team, is it possible? Say Obi will team Obetime replace a branch of Moises Caicedo as a player now, and I say it's possible say Moises Caicedo will be replaced. And Maresca say, for sure, again, we are better with them, Cole. We are better with them, Moy. We are better with them, Levi. But when these players are not available, we try to find a solution. And I've said it several times. This is one of the things why I absolutely love Enzo Maresca. Why do I say this? Because he doesn't make the players that are injured or out of the team feel like we can play better than them or the team is better without them or with them or whatever. But it's a balance. He lets the team, the players that are out of the team understand that, okay, we can play. With you, we are very, very important. You are such an important player for us. We always want to make sure that we are playing. We are with you. But then again, in all of that, we still think that we'll be able to build a team. We'll be able to play and get results. And we have to find solutions without the players that are injured. And that's what he said about branch friend Moises Caicedo. They asked him about Rob Sanchez. I mean, everybody knows my stance on Rob Sanchez and what he gives the team. I am excited that as at this point, people are getting to understand the quality that he brings. And I've said it, shot stopping, cross claiming, and Enzo Maresca sees that he's getting better with his feet, with his ball playing ability. And I think that is very, very important. Uti, Enzo Maresca said, I think Robert, in terms of saving, which is shot stopping, he has always been good since I joined the club. In terms of build-up, he has struggled a little bit. But I said once day one, our build-up depends a little bit on how the other team press. So sometimes we go long, sometimes we go short. And I think that is smart. One thing that Enzo Maresca said several times over and over again, and he said, in the modern game, the away is not just independent of you. Now, let me explain. What that means is that, so 4-3-3, you are not playing 4-3-3 because you are 4-3-3 and as a team you are 4-3-3. You play base also at the back of your mind. Their opponent is able. And that's what he is explaining with the build-up depending on the opponent. Say opponents on elbow in a 4-2-3-1 as on personosity in a mid blocker. Over passes where Chilo Biblia, you're wasting your time. That's what Maresca is saying, that when you do all of those things in situations like that, then you are essentially just wasting your time. But however, when you have an opponent like that starts playing that kind of football and it's playing, is doing the things in the kind of ways that they are doing, what you want to do is that you mimic your press or your build-up according to how the opponent is set up. So like the opponents press you high, then you play through them. If they press too high and there's spacing behind and you can find the channels, then you find the channels. Because essentially, the importance of build-up is to find the free man or also to find the space. So find free man or find space. Find free man, find space. It's very important according to Enzo Maresca. And for him, that is one of the things that he's trying to do in terms of finding ways to be able to pick the pockets, play well, build up, create chances and be the best. And according to him, Enzo Robert Sanchez has been fairly okay in recent times in terms of how he has been playing, how Robert Sanchez has been important to the team. I think Robert's game against Arsenal has been one of his best games also in build-up because we played also some goal kick shots when we arrived in the other box. He played 4 or 5 balls between the lines, which is very, very good. And we analyzed all of that. They asked Abrante Enzo Maresca, and this is where he said, say, Abrante or Reece James is not going to start in that game. He can't play 90 minutes against Leeds United because he would love to play with Reece James every time. But I've said it several times, and I said again, time and again, say, Mami, a big fan of Enzo Maresca is the fact that he's such a sensible person. For me, how I judge people is people who are straightforward and honest. It is easy for people to always look at you and say things that will make you happy. It's easy for people to look at you and say things that will make you do the things that you do. But to be very honest, the best thing that you can get is to be able to find people who are straight up honest with you. People look into your eye and say that, okay, you know what? We need to do things like this. We need to do it like that. This way works for us. That way works for us. And for me, that is what makes all the difference. If you're able to find people like that, that makes a lot of difference to you when you want to do that job. So for me, those are the things that I want to see. And that's why I'm a big fan of our brand friend Enzo Maresca. Now, Maresca say, I think he, into brackets, Reece James, can be good in both positions. When we decide for him as a midfielder, most of the time, it's also when we want physicality in terms of the midfielders. When we face some teams that are strong in the middle. So it depends a little bit of the game plan as well. And I think that is true. Maresca said it several times. And usually the game plan when it comes to whether he will play with James as a number 9, as a number 9, as a midfielder, or he'll playing as a 3 or 2, essentially depends on the opponent and the strength of the opponent as well. That's how he goes into games like that. And Maresca goes on about Romeo Lavia. I'll say the injury updates and it's Abrante from Romeo Lavia is still recovering. Dario Sugo, he was okay and started some sessions with us. Now he needs to slow down a little bit, so he will be out again. Hopefully, nothing important. The rest are all fine, according to Abrante friend Enzo Maresca. Maresca on Kopama say he's available and he can start. And I was saying it this morning, say it is so important for Chelsea to get Kopama back for this stretch of games. Now, what do I mean? I think that even Kopama's return can mean that Enzo Fernandez can rest in certain games for Chelsea to play with a proper team and have 2 flat DMs, which can be Andre Santos and Moises Caicedo, depending on the game state, and then the rest Enzo Fernandez, because these 2 players, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, essentially have been run to the ground. And so also truly, the season is long. Over Champions League, over League Cup, over Carabao Cup, over a lot of matches there. Then these are some of the matches where you need to be able to manage personnel, manage the players, manage energy levels, and then come in with players that will be able to deliver, that are fresh and constantly ready to deliver in how they want to play their games. It is absolutely important. And I think that you can't even overstate it. It's so important for you to be able to do things like that when it comes to the kind of football that you want to play or tournament. Kopama coming back, a team that had goals shared between Enzo Fernandez and the other players. Now Kopama coming means that another goal threat is in there. Chelsea can now get goals and assists and creativity in general for our bright friend Kopama. Something that's deemed to be very important, because if you're able to get that from Kopama, then it means that the other players can also focus on other things. And when Kopama's form dips a little bit, those players can come in and give you the results. Now, Maresca went on. I don't know what formation Leeds will play. Like I said, Daniel Farke has been playing a lot more differently based on how he wants to play his games. I think that he can play in different ways that he wants to play. It's important that we adjust anytime that they have the ball or anytime that they do not have the ball. That is what Abrante, your friend, that is what Enzo Maresca is saying about Leeds United for the game plan and how they are going to play their games. Saying that it's important that Chelsea adjust. It's important that Chelsea has a plan to go in and get a job done. Now, what I was telling you earlier on, a report earlier on, and it said Chelsea and Enzo Maresca are ready to make a bold move this January. He's set to approach the Chelsea board with clear vision, bringing in an elite attacker. With the right addition, he believes Chelsea can not only challenge Arsenal for the Premier League title, but also make serious run in the Champions League. The squad has the talent, but it's the final piece that can elevate them to greatness. Maresca knows that with the right firepower up front and also in defense, everything can happen. And I think that that's exactly what the conversation has been saying. Chelsea, for only say, when you have the conversation of who can be a top player, who can be a top team or league anymore, you need Chelsea for Kahumi. But maybe at the point where they are not at that top level and they say they don't have the difference maker in terms of attack with more 20, 30 goals and also a vibrant, personified, charismatic centre back that makes a lot of the difference. So that is where maybe at Chelsea for no, but away from that, the ideology and the thought is that Chelsea for no can go into January and then make a big move, and the grand plan and the big move, and they say they now can go to Elche and then bring in this player I'm talking about. But first of all, Chelsea for the most chance created this season by defenders. Can you imagine? Say, Brantia, your friend, Marco Crane leading with 18, Michael Coyote, Sunderland 17, Pedro Porro 16, Rhys James 15, 2 Chelsea players now on Quilling Steve Hartman also on in terms of players that created the most chances on defenders this season. Our English Premier League now. There's a boy called Rodrigo Mendoza. Chelsea for scouts have approached him. In fact, they have gone to Elche. Say Ombako finalize a deal for branch friend Rodrigo Mendoza, Obama Elche, or your top attacking midfielder who Chelsea for believes with the physique and attacking of half spaces and creating chances. No, he can be an important player for them. I mean, in that regard, what a branch friend Rodrigo Mendoza can do on the ball, off the ball, and Chelsea for GD say he can be an important player for everything Enzo Maresca and the person here in this summer. And that is the player I can watch himself say in Chelsea's grand plan. They have approached a branch friend Rodrigo Mendoza from Elche, and they want to go in. Some of the never buy in January. No wait to have a boy Jumano anymore. No boy Jumano their mom because they see him to be an important player. And we'll see how things are going to go on from there. Of course, everybody knows that in the summer Chelsea for being a branch here, your friend Giovanni Quenda, branch friend Emmanuel Omega also will come in and then come and deliver and then score the goals for Chelsea for. Chelsea for say they are much more attackers. Giovanni Quenda will provide competition on the left. And branch here friend Emmanuel Omega will be playing up top and hope that he can also provide a competition and then score goals for team and friend Chelsea Football Club. And that is very, very important because you're able to get the quality players that will come in, that will come and deliver, play their football, gets the results for you. Something that is very, very important for Chelsea for now. And we'll see how things are going to go on. There's also a branch here, your friend, Brazilian defender, your friend Luis Eduardo's representatives. And also possibly Chelsea for now want a player to come in to come and get a job done. Cole Palmer and branch here, friend Estevao Ulian, and then in training, Omar launching new celebrations. Something that I think that immediately either of them scores a goal, there is going to be that celebration always going to be adored. The Andre Santos versus Cope versus Moise Caicedo this season. 318 minutes for Andre Santos, 983 for Moises Caicedo, 7 interceptions for Andre, 27 for Moy, 6 tackles, 1 for Andre, 21 for Moy, 5 clearances for Andre, 13 for Moy, 6 ball recoveries, 61 for Moy. Obviously, Moy is very, very important to everything that Chelsea are doing. I have a feeling that Chelsea for now going to go into Nyamia China game with Benoit Bediashile and Abrantia, your friend Joshua Kofi, a champion, because they were a very, very good pair the last time. Chelsea are happy with their current position, Robert Sanchez, and they don't want to go in for any other player, any other midfielder beyond. That's not going to happen. Ask Maresca to show the intensity against lower, say data, insights, question, more insights. Saria is the best in the game, of course, talking about the journalists. What with a coach like Maresca, it's just about having every tool in the toolbox. Give him every profile possible and let him find solutions. That's his strength as a coach, of course. And that's the thing. The thing is that our branch friend Enzo Maresca is a coach. He's a coach. He's the one that makes things happen. If we want to add a high XG center forward, of course, then we bring him the true area box threat, and that's still underutilized source for goals and would be useful as an option. And maybe that's why Emmanuel Omega comes in. I mean, box threats, box dominance, physicality, Joaquin Penicali. These kind of players don't give you that ability in the box to make things happen. Of course, things are going to go on well, and we'll see how things are going to go on for Enzo Maresca and in the month, we'll see how things are going to go on from there. Of course, in Remu, and then you made a big game. There's a big game. Our Spanish La Liga named Football Club Barcelona, a big game. But then some small updates. Our club here for the Football Club Real Madrid will be playing tomorrow against Athletic Club de Bilbao. People are saying that it looks as if Xabi Alonso is not treating Abrante Feno Vinicius Jr. well. Charlie, it's clear that Vinicius Jr. doesn't want to. He has the one that's asked his team to put all contract talks on hold. But again, I can understand. It looks as if Xabi Alonso is not allowing Vinicius Jr. to be Vinicius Jr. It looks as if during Carlo Ancelotti does that a lot. Or many players have a lot of freedom to do what they want. But Xabi Alonso doesn't give the players that much freedom to do whatever they want on the field of play. It doesn't happen like that for them. And that's affecting Abrante and Vinny Jr. And he needs to manage things well. And that's why he has complained verbatim about the issues that's going on at Football Club Real Madrid. But of course, Vinny has to manage things well, calm down, keep his head steady, and I think that he's going to go far. And the squad list for the game against Athletic Club, clear. Eder Militao is the good news for Football Club Real Madrid. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Marco, Antonio Carreras, Franco Mastantuano, Fran Garcia, Rudiger, Bellingham, Camavinga, Valverde, Chomeni, Ada Gule, Dani Ceballos, Vinny Jr., Endrick, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Gonzalo Garcia, of course, and then Brahim Diaz are all in there. Abrante Fela Mendy, and a relapse of an injury, and it means that he's going to be out until January of 2026. Xabi Alonso was asked when you came, you said your team will play rock and roll football. What is this style you are playing right now? Hey, Charlie. Yay, Maka for General. Yay, brother. When you came, you say you play rock and roll. What are you playing right now? I say we play football and our players always try to give the maximum. The demand is to play at a higher level in the next match. The other game probably wasn't the best. He goes to say people are starting to doubt me. We are where we are. We live under pressure. We focus on what we can change. And that's what we are thinking about. That's what Xabi Alonso is saying over about Gonzalo Garcia. You know, seeing the Club World Cup, it was spectacular. He's not getting the minutes he deserves. But the Club World Cup, Kylian Mbappe wasn't there. Now Kylian is here and doing well. Gonzalo is also intelligent and always ready, according to Abrante friend Xabi Alonso. Now he goes on, he says he's worried about getting sad. I'm focusing on tomorrow and preparing for the team. Why are people talking? Charlie, these days, fans just talk about sack. Every 2 days, you are sack. Barcelona drop points more on meeting over the sack and see it flick. Nothing. Xabi Alonso pressing, he said, without organization, it's impossible. We must work on it. Of course, the other day, we improved in the second half, which allowed us to create more chances. But it all starts with conviction, which is very, very important. And I think that is true. I mean, at the end of the day, it starts with conviction. It starts from the brain. It starts from the mind. What do you want to do on the ball? What do you want to do without the ball? How do you want to play on the ball? How do you want to play without the ball? It makes a lot of difference when it comes to that style of play. On Real Madrid's midfield after a Clasico or Valencia match, you would not have asked me this question or when I'm talking about how things have gone on over there. We expect Xabi had much. Now we'll see how that game is going to be. But this evening, let's draw the curtain here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much to all of you who have chosen us. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.